Lazy Jack. Once upon a time there was a boy, and his name was Lazy Jack. And his mother said to him one day, "Oh, Jack, you're so lazy. You never work. You hang around the house all day. Go into town and earn your daily bread." So Jack went into town, and he met a cobbler. And the cobbler said, "Get this shoe done by 2:15, and I'll give you your daily bread." So Jack worked on the shoe, and he was done, and the cobbler gave him a gold coin. And Jack didn't know what the gold coin was for. His mother said he should earn his daily bread. Why was the cobbler giving him a coin? So he took the coin, and he put it in his hand, and he held on to it tight, and on his way home he crossed over a bridge, and his hand hurt so much from squeezing the coin that the coin fell out of his hand and into the water. And he went home, and he told his mother what happened, and she said, "Oh, you silly boy, you should have put the coin in your pocket." And Jack said, "All right, Mother, I didn't do it this time, but next time I get paid, that's exactly what I'll do." So he went into town again the next day, and the cobbler said, "Get this shoe done by 4:15, and I'll reward you well." So Jack worked on the shoe, and this time the cobbler didn't give him a gold coin. He gave him a big pitcher full of sweet milk. And Jack says, "Now my mother said, put it in my pocket." So he poured the pitcher of milk into his pocket, and it went all over the floor. And Jack walked home to his mother and told her what had happened, and she said, "You silly, stupid boy, you shouldn't have done that. You should have balanced the pitcher on your head." "Oh, all right, Mother, all right. Next time I get paid, that's exactly what I'll do." So he went into town, and the cobbler said, "Get this shoe done by 6:15, and I'll give you something for your trouble." So Jack worked on the shoe, and when he was done, the cobbler gave him a great big hunk of butter. Jack said, "Let's see now. I told my mother I would carry it home on my head," so he did. It was a very hot day, and by the end of that day, when Jack was home, the butter had melted all over him, and his mother saw the mess, and she said, "You silly, stupid, idiotic boy. You shouldn't have done that. You should have wrapped the butter up in brown paper and carried it home like that." And Jack said, "Oh, all right, all right. Next time I get paid, that's exactly what I'll do." So Jack went into town, and the cobbler said, "Get this shoe done by 8:15, and I'll give you something for it." So Jack got the shoe done, and this time the cobbler gave him a live chicken. And Jack said, "All right, now I told my mother I would wrap it up in brown paper, so that's what I'll do." And he wrapped the chicken up in paper, and the chicken scratched, and it clucked, and pretty soon it had flown away. And Jack went home to his mother, and his mother said, "Oh, you silly, stupid, idiotic knucklehead. You shouldn't have done that. You should have tied a string around the chicken's neck and taken it home like that." "Oh, all right, Mother, all right. Next time I get paid, that's what I'll do." So Jack went back into town, and this time the cobbler said, "Get this shoe done by 10:15, and you won't believe what I'll give you." So Jack worked on the shoe, and this time the cobbler gave him a great big steak. And Jack said, "Now my mother said, tie a string around it and take it behind me." So that's what Jack did, and he dragged the steak behind him in the mud. And when he got home with the muddy steak that no one could eat, his mother said, "Ooh, you silly, stupid, idiotic, knuckle-headed nincompoop. You shouldn't have done that. You should have carried it home on your shoulder." "Oh, all right, Mother, all right. Next time I get paid, that's what I'll do." So Jack went back into town, and the cobbler said, "Get this shoe done by 12:15, and I will reward you so well you won't believe it." So Jack worked on the shoe, and when he was done, the cobbler said, "You've worked so well this week, I'm going to give you my very own pet donkey." And Jack said, "All right," my mother said, "carry it home on my shoulder." So Jack lifted up the donkey, upside down, put it on his shoulder, and carried it home, with the donkey waving all four legs in the air. And on his way home, Jack passed the castle. And in that castle there lived a princess, and that princess had one problem. She didn't know how to laugh. She'd never laughed in her life. The king was so worried about this that he made a royal decree that anyone who could make the princess laugh would inherit his kingdom when he died and would become the husband of that princess. So Jack went by that castle, and the princess was looking out the window when she saw him with the donkey upside down on his shoulder with all four legs waving in the air, and what do you think she did? Yeah, she laughed until she was blue in the face. The king saw her do that and looked out the window and saw Jack with the donkey, and he called Jack in and made him the husband of the princess, and when the king died, Jack inherited the kingdom, and his mother came to live in the castle with him, where she never had to worry about his silliness, because now he was the king.